of the game as far as driving the basketball. Well, that's not LeBron James. And I got to tell you, for the first time ever, I kidded you about this yesterday. I said this is going to be a measuring stick late in the career. That was the first time in my time, all my years of watching LeBron, where I thought, maybe Grant Hill is right, because he said, I know you don't listen to the sound, but he suggested mid-second quarter, Father Time is tapping LeBron on the shoulder. Well, that was the first night. I got to be honest with you, and I don't want this to happen because I love watching LeBron. I don't miss 1 second of any game. But that was the first time I sat back and said, is he starting to hit the wall? Is he starting to get old right before your very eyes? Because he didn't look right the whole night after that early salvo. He looked a little overwhelmed by it. The responsibility of trying to take the game over without Anthony Davis. He looked like he was a little unplugged. He was without passion. He was without urgency. And I thought, well, maybe he's just starting to feel his age where he's thinking, I just can't do this anymore at the level that I'm required to do this.
Well, I think that may be some truth to that. I'm not ready to quite write him off just yet, Skip, but I think the thing is it becomes, with anything, if you do it, and all of a sudden, Skip, I'm making great passes, and there's no payoff at the end of it.
I got that.
You kind of get frustrated. You're like, well, damn, what else do I have to do?
But I still say they go as he was going to go. Like if he showed them early, I'm on fire. I got fire in my eyes. Well, I think maybe they follow suit.
I think the thing is with him, it's a fine line, Skip, because he's like, if I go, they're just going to stand around and watch. I really need to try to get them involved, and then I can come along with them. Well, in the process of them trying to get them to go, Skip, I'm getting out of rhythm because I'm not doing anything. I'm just standing around and you guys are turning the ball over. And you showed those plays. That happened like on 3 straight possessions in which he turned the ball over.
He did.
And so
and that's just uninspired. Like it's a huge game because now you're in such a hole. Obviously, you have to go beat that team twice. At home, you got a chance. You're a 3-point favorite, so I give you that one. But, man, can you go back there and win Game 7 after what you saw? If there's no AD in Game 7, can you go turn that? Can you flip that script that you just saw?
I mean,
I don't know.
You remember the Memorial Day Massacre when Boston beat the brakes off L.A. and everybody said it's over. The series is over. And a funny thing happened. It wasn't over.
But nobody on the Lakers was hurt, right? Magic still had.
You got a good point. Kareem.
Well, he still had Kareem and Worthy and Byron, and I was at that series. In fact, I talked to Byron Scott in the weight room at the downtown Marriott after Game 1. He's like, well, we're going to be fine because it was just the first game. Well, this was the 5th game.
And, you know, normally the 5th game is the telltale game because now your job is harder. You got to win 2 games. I just got to win 1.
So then we get all the way down to the 5:40 mark of the 4th quarter. And I got to tell you, I just don't love this, but I'm old school. You're old school, too. And I'm curious what you thought. All of a sudden, LeBron says, I've seen enough. I'm checking it out. I'm going into the locker room.
What did he got a head start on treatment?
Yeah. Vogel defended it. He said he's got to start his treatment early. No, he doesn't. He just couldn't take it anymore. He did not want to associate with that mess that was out on the floor and on the bench. Like, I'm better than this. I can't take it anymore. The shame is too great. I'm just going inside.
It's definitely not a good look, Skip. It's definitely not a good look. He'd probably go in, if you're going to put ice, you know, just have him to bring ice.
Well, you can put ice on it.
On your knees. And obviously, Skip, you don't want to put your feet in the ice bucket because somebody run out of bounds. And then I get all that. But you can put ice bags on your knees. It's not a good look, Skip. If you waited that long, I mean, because you didn't start the 4th quarter. So if that's the case, Skip, just go on in at the end of the 3rd quarter. But when you're losing as bad as you're losing, and Skip, they're still going to say something because they're like, hold on, if you were up by 36, you wouldn't do this. So why would you do it when you're down? So, and I get it. You're right. I'm old school. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and sit there and take my punishment like a man because when we win it, I want you to sit across and watch me celebrate. And Phoenix had it going. The crowd was into it. Everybody was doing their job last night. But for whatever reason, Skip, it didn't, after he hit those shots, it just went downhill from there, and I don't know why. I'm racking my brain trying to think, and I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, well, what's going on? I mean, can't anybody? And it's just an avalanche because once shot wouldn't go in, it's like everybody lost it.
And then all of a sudden, he became strangely disengaged. And those turnover passes, they weren't like high-risk passes where you're trying to force something that isn't quite there, but you almost pull off a great pass. They were careless passes. They're just like, I'm nonchalant. I don't really care that much about this one. I don't know. Maybe he's setting us up for the big thrill. Maybe, well, you could certainly argue, well, it better.
You know what's coming.
Well, now it's got to come twice.
That's okay.
What did he post? The storm is coming?
Yep.
Well, it better thunder and lightning on Thursday night, and then they have to turn right around and play Saturday. I think it's at night. I don't even know if
I'm trying to figure out how the Clippers get these kind of breaks, and we ain't getting no break.
Well, I think it's Luka's getting the breaks, right? Because we know he's quote-unquote hurt. He got 3 days off, right?
Yeah.
To heal his quote-unquote neck injury, right?
Yeah, Skip, you know what? Normally, I mean, the Lakers, I normally take it pretty hard. You know, I can't sleep. I'm restless. But I slept well last night because I resigned to the fact after, like, midway through the second quarter that this was over. And there was no, Skip, oh, we can make a comeback. It wasn't like Skip, it wasn't like Sunday's game was tough because we were right there. This was like we were really never in it.
Well, you were for 4 minutes. You were ahead 8-3.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I thought you had it going.
And even in the end of the first, Skip, we got back. I mean, we made a ball game of it. What was 27 to? I think we were only down a handful of points. And I'm like, okay, I like where we are. LeBron's going to come back, start the second. You know, we're going to get a fresh lineup in there. We'll be good to go. And I'm like,
21-2 to open the second quarter.
Is anybody going to score?
Nope. Your Lakers scored 10 points in the second quarter. That's impossibly bad.
Remember, they scored 15. What was it, game one? They scored 15? In like the third quarter or something, Skip.
I'm starting to think that AD, at this stage and age of his career versus LeBron's, that he's more valuable than LeBron is. I'm starting to think that.
You be starting to think wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you got 2 more chances to prove it, but you had your biggest, easiest chance was last night.
We don't like it easy.
You don't.
Because you just say, oh, you caught them by surprise. We want the pressure to be on us.
Okay. Well, I'll give you some more pressure because my last takeaway from last night was I did not think Phoenix played that great last night. I think Phoenix can play considerably better than they did last night. If you look hard at this box score, okay, look at the three-point shooting. Phoenix shot 33%. So it wasn't like what my Spurs did to LeBron in 2014 finals when they shot him off the floor by a record finals margin from the three-point line. They shot 33%. Devin Booker actually made 2 out of 6, which for him is extraordinary because he's not a three-point shooter.
They let him get going early. Okay. But his mid-range was spot on last night.
Okay, but look at the rebounds. Who won the boards?
Oh, we won the boards.
Well, what's the Pat Riley expression? No rebounds, no rings. Well, you got the rebounds. You won 51-47. And Big Penguin, you can argue, outplayed Ayton. He did. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then we look at turnovers, it's the only place where they got you. You had 16, which is not horrible.
Skip, they had 4.
They had only 4. So that's how they beat you. They had only 4 turnovers.
Yes.
Right?
And we've been a high turn. And you look at the games that we've lost in this series, they've been high turnovers. You can't, Skip, you can't turn the ball over and not score.
Yep.
And that's what aided it. You that long stretch when they go 21-2. What do? Turnover. They go bucket, and the game gets out of hand. So you're gonna have to take better care of the football, better care of the basketball in situations like this.
But finally, did they free throw you out of the gym last night?
We just shot the same amount.
Same amount? Made the same amount. 15-21. So it wasn't the three-point shot. It wasn't the free throws. You can argue it was somewhat the turnovers.
Yeah.
But in the end, they made 56% of their two-point shots, and you made 35%.
Right.
And that's how you got blown out.
But, Skip, if you think about it early, although their three-point percentage wasn't good, but if you look at it when it mattered in the first half, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, they couldn't miss. Devin Booker hit.
And Cameron Payne came in and made some big shots.
They got Cameron Payne out there looking like Mike Conley.
Well, like I say, I don't think they missed CP3 that much.
No.
In fact, he might even... Campaign might even be a little bit of an upgrade over CP3 as an offensive threat the way he's hurt right
Well, he can score.
Yeah.
He can get to, I mean, he's getting to the basket against anybody he wants to.
Yeah.
Schroeder. He get the back Caruso. It doesn't matter who they put on it.
He's fearless.
Yes.
He's not afraid of this stage.
No, he hitting big shots, big threes, laying the ball. Like I said, Skip, he's playing like Mike Conley. And I'm like, come on. But tomorrow's a new day.
Well, the pressure just went through the Staples roof on this one.
Well,
and there's a team in the basement that is still waiting.
Man, nobody care about that team in the basement.
They're waiting to play the team upstairs, but the team upstairs has pressure going through the roof on it right now, and I don't think they can live up to this kind of pressure.
You see, I'm in my morning. I had to change my shirt. I had just a plain white shirt, but I'd have really been in morning. Yeah, you see how dark my suit is, man. You know I don't wear no suits like this.
So, well, you sound like you're giving up.
I ain't giving up nothing.
You talk a good game, but you're not actually playing a good game.
No, Skip. Like I said, I already done shoved 3 cases of dew.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about that in just a moment here.
You know we're going to win. You know we're going to win Thursday, tomorrow, right? You know that, Skip, right?
You, Shannon. I feel like it's a sad vibe over there.
Nah, this is
sad.
It's a temporary setback.
Yeah.
Temporary setback for a tremendous comeback.
Temporary setback for a tremendous comeback. I will remember that. We will talk much more about this game. I promise. We got a lot more to get to with Chris Broussard. Steven Jackson will join us later in the show. But you know what we really have to talk about? Dame. How impressive was Damian Lillard's historic playoff performance last night? He had everyone talking. I can't wait to hear what you guys say next.